How Do You Want to Start It by Xavier
How
Valdez.
do you want to start this, man?
Welcome to the studio corner.
Thank you for having me back once more.
Once more. It's going to be a lot more.
It's going to be a lot more.
I feel like you and I vibe really well.
Yeah.
I like chilling in here.
The vibrations that you deliver to this table.
Wow. Why is it that so many of my guests come on here and just like immediately take what I say and make it sound like I'm doing something sexual to them? Like I get it. I do stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
but...
yeah, of course. I like the stuff you do, though.
Xavier Valdez, everybody. Back on the air. How you doing, man?
Good. How am I doing today? I'm doing all right. You know, I'm getting a lot more tan, which is not something I really...
You're already tan.
I know I'm already tan, so I'm working out in the sun. The funny thing is that now that I am getting more tan and we go to these construction sites, I get immediately phased as someone who can speak Spanish. So and
well, your name is Xavier Valdez.
Yeah. So like, I guess just me, my complexion and everything, they just come up to me, like, and when I say they, I mean people who speak Spanish, right? And they say, right?
Because that's exactly what Spanish sounds like. Wow.
And, yeah, to me, and like my Spanish is very bad, so I just like, God damn it. So now I scramble to find words, and I just look like an idiot. But I will say, last week I was on a job site, and I went up to this dude who was 9 times darker than me, and 9 times more ethnic looking than me, right? And I go up to him and I'm like, in Spanish, like, oh, we use this spot for the blah, blah, blah.
Can you say it in Spanish for me? I want to see if you can actually say that.
Okay, damn it.
First off, tell me what you said to him in English.
I said, in English, I said, hey, can we move this wire because we're going to work here? And I went up to him and said, hola, vamos a trabajar aquí. Puedes mover este... I don't even know how I said wire. I think I said...
So basically, you're lying to me. You said, we need to work here.
Yeah. Well, I said... I just said, can we work here? And he turns around and he looks at me and he goes, what? Like, oh, you know what? I'm the asshole then. Forget it, you know? And then my partner just starts laughing at me, so... Guess you can't
are
really
concerned with the weirdest things. The weirdest things.
Can't ever win.
So that's how you're doing today. You've been contemplating.
Like,
your
should
Spanish
I speak
speaking.
more Spanish? I should learn more Spanish, honestly.
Are you kidding? My girlfriend is a little pale ginger, and she speaks fluent Spanish.
Does she really?
Yeah. Who would have thought, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I guess it's a thing now. You have to speak Spanish.
I guess, dude. I can speak bass somewhat.
Are you proud of what you just said? I can speak bass.
I can. That's me playing the bass.
Oh my goodness. So, one-hit wonders, Xavier.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
This is why we're here.
I want to talk about one-hit wonders. I think this was inspired because the other week we did one. What I have now is the cornersodes.
Yeah.
On a sweater weather, which is really good time. I thought we did a great job.
Yeah.
But we started talking, and you were talking about why is that just their hit song? Like, where's the rest of their hit songs?
Right, right.
Like, we got on the topic of one-hit wonders. I did a lot of research on it.
Nice.
And it's pretty crazy, the idea of a one-hit wonder and what's considered one-hit wonders and all that stuff. But before we start, I was thinking to myself about one-hit wonders and Xavier Valdez.
Okay.
And I had to find a question that I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
And I think I found the right one because you're so obsessed with writing a hit.
Right. Absolutely.
So here is the question.
Uh-huh.
You have 2 choices.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay, Satan. Okay, let's go.
The first choice is you continue your life as it is, totally normal, writing your music, see what happens, right?
Right.
Totally whatever. Second choice is you can only write one song every 10 years. And I mean write one song. I mean you sit down one day, you write that song, you record that song for the next week, and you release it. One song every 10 years. Outside of that, no music. But every one of those songs every 10 years is a #1 hit.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You know what, dude?
I'm
going to do that.
I knew you were
that.
going to say that.
Dude, that's 10 years worth of 10 great songs, right? 10 amazingly composed songs that I will be remembered for. Not like, of course, you'll get critics everywhere, but the licensing, the placements, the money.
Yeah, that's the idea of a hit.
I know. All the money I could probably potentially make,
But then you never get to play bass. You never get to play any music.
What? That too?
I mean, you never get to write any music. Like, that's it. Like you sit down once and you write one song. You know what? I'll say this. How about you can play as much as you want within those 10 years, but every time you sit down to play, it's to write that song. So once you write that song, like is a 10, like you have to finish that 10 years.
Say I go on tour. Am I only playing that one?
No, you don't even get to go on tour.
I don't even get
You just
to
write the fucking hit.
Oh, you know what? No.
I had you on here with your band, and all you talked about was wanting to write a fucking hit. All right, so let's hear it.
Oh man. Okay, so a good part of me really wants that because, dude, that's 10 great songs that come out of me.
Absolutely.
Right? But on the other hand, I'm always writing, like constantly, and if I don't have that freedom, then I'll probably lose my mind.
Fair enough.
Dude, I might even go vegan. Who knows? Something crazy like that.
Let's not be too crazy now.
So, no, I can't do the 10. If I'm only writing that one song, there's no way, man. I'll lose my mind. I'll just go crazy. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna stick with write as openly as possible.
Well, I guess the answer to that question could also tell you what music is to you. You know, the idea that if I want to write those 10 hits, like it's great, and I want to be remembered, and I want to have an impact, which is a huge part of music.
Right.
But it's also like that just kind of dials it down. Like I'm willing to give up everything I love about music so I can just have
an
impact every 10 years.
Right.
You don't even know if it's timeless. It's just a hit for that 10 years.
It just could be like a regular old, oh, that was a good song.
But it's a number one on the charts.
Yeah, it's number one on the charts. But yeah, you know what? I'd rather have more freedom to just do things that make the song a fault in a way. Like where, you know, people like you and I will be doing something like this and dissecting the song. Like, why did he do this and why did he do that? Maybe he was just feeling weird that day. I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, rock and roll, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy that you started where you started and you got
So
to
greedy.
where you are right now. Yeah. Like, I think I half expected you to just immediately jump like, fuck it, 10 hits, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, 10 hits would, I mean, because you have to think about it. If you write a hit every 10 years, like, how old are you right now?
I'm 28.
You're 28, right? So how many more hits do you get? You don't even get to write 10 hits. You won't even make it to 10 songs.
I probably won't do that. No, I won't even.
I mean, if you make it to 10 songs, we have those other things to talk about. Let's talk about what you're doing every day to live to that long. But that's pretty wild. Anyway, I like that question a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You look like you just like dived into your own head. Like, what am I doing with my life?
Head first, just went into it.
Okay, so one hit wonder. How do you classify one hit wonder?
Oh man, I'm gonna go right guns blazing. Right,
It's Xavier way.
Give you a song, okay? Somebody that I used to know. Yeah. By Gautier, one hit wonder.
Okay, so that's an example.
Yeah, that is an example.
But what classifies a one hit wonder?
It's everywhere. You can't like turn on the radio and go to a different station and not hear that song. You know, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be in ads. It's gonna be. I get people will be talking about it. People will be singing. It's just, you know, when the song is everywhere. You know.
Yeah.
You just know because everybody won't shut up about it.
You walk into a Target and that shit's just, or a grocery store.
Yeah.
Man, grocery stores get you now.
Yeah.
I was in the fucking grocery store the other day and I came out singing SOS. I was like, what the fuck? Where did I hear this song? Why is this happening? Fucking Ralphs.
You know, the first time I heard that, somebody I used to know, I was working out at the gym and me and my friend Dylan were like, this sounds like Sting. Like the singer sounds like Sting.
Oh yeah, I can totally see that.
Right.
Yeah.
And we thought it was him. We thought it was like a solo project he was doing, but then come to find out, it's like this hit that I didn't even know about, and like now it's just like, you know.
So did they ever write another hit?
No. So that dude, I actually looked up on the person himself. He came out with that album, and it was. He's from Australia, I believe. Came out with the album because he had previous music before this, but once this came out and that song came out, it was just, that was it. Everything was gone, over, and gone in a good way.
Gone in a good way.
Gone in a good way. Now, this is like that once every 10 years thing that you were talking about. To me, it's just like he wrote this like amazing hit for its time. Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, he just, I don't know. Like I saw, and I actually wrote it down because I thought it was insane. And then oh my god, hold on.
Looking at your notes.
Yeah. Online, he claimed that there will be no new Gautier music in 2014. This is in 2014. So for some reason, he made a decision to not continue making music under that name, because who knows why. But he took off all the ads on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube and you type in that song, there will be no ads. It will just be a straight music video. So he's not making any money for that anymore, I think, or like at least from those ads, YouTube
Interesting.
ads. I don't know why he did that. I listened to the rest of the album. I thought it was awful. The worst. Like, I thought it was gonna be more stuff like that, acoustic / like build. It was really, really weird. Some songs were okay. And I'm like, okay.
So has he done anything else other than that though? Like,
yeah, he's in. I even wrote this down. In 2018, Gautier co-wrote an original verse that was sampled in the Brood single "Eyes a Mess," but that was it. And it's like, it's nothing you like. Oh yeah, Gautier, yeah, they're doing this now, or he's doing this now. Nothing. No,
yeah, some of these bands just fall off the map.
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe he just couldn't take it.
So the idea of a one-hit wonder, and I feel like that's a really good example, because it's like he did that song and did that album and like just disappeared, right?
Yeah.
And like what you said before, you just hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like for me, a one-hit wonder is like classified into almost 3 different sections. Like you put it as like, say a band has like even a catalog of 40 songs, but you only know them from one.
Right.
Like that would basically mean that song made more money compared to the rest of the songs. You know, they're one-hit wonder. They have one song that made way more money, way more fame. Radio time, like this is the song that identified like the amount of radio time they get for this one song compared to the rest. I'm like, some bands back in the radio days, a Stone Age. Oh my goodness, here we are doing a radio-based thing, but posted on the internet. Fucking podcasts, all it is.
Yeah, it's cooler.
But the amount of time that song gets on the radio, like that's the hit. You know that because it's like the radio plays. This hour is going to be these hits from the whatever, or a hit from the '80s, like. Each band has that one song. I mean, there's some big bands that have like 30 hits. Like, let's be real. We have the hit writers. But there's every once in a while you hear like one song from a band. Like, what was we talked about it, Spirit in the Sky.
Yeah.
Like, we used everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, that guy had that song.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure I didn't even look into the other stuff because I'm like, I've never seen his name anywhere. But I know that song like the back of my hand.
I wonder what happens. Like, they make this like, even out of luck sometimes, or just like when them not even trying, people who make like really, really big songs and they just, maybe they don't, I don't know what happens.
Well, I think a lot of it, that has to be considered is the idea that some of these artists, majority of the artists don't write their songs. Mm-hmm. So like say the writer that was writing for that artist among many artists, wrote that song for them and that artist hit with that song. Yeah. And maybe something was falling out with the artist. Maybe they weren't the right image, right look, whoever was like funding them, blah, blah, blah. And which means that they don't get the writer. Right. So maybe they're going to start writing their own stuff, which isn't very good. Right. So the writer's giving the other stuff to like other artists, you know? Yeah. So it makes you wonder, especially because back then, like, it was such a big thing to like be a star and have writers. I mean, it is still today. Like, there's writers that write like most of the stuff that we love and know. It's pretty much written by someone else.
Portugal the Man with that song "Feel It Still," like boom.
Yeah.
Boom. They paid for that melody.
Really?
The verses that wasn't their melt. They paid for that.
That pisses me off.
Right?
Man.
Right? Because they had like 11 or something albums before that song, and they decided to tweak up their sound a little, went pop, and
it became like the biggest song in the world.
It became the biggest song.
I think "Feel It Still" could be considered one of the biggest hits ever.
Yeah, dude. It was as soon as it came out, or like when I first heard that song as just like a single release. I heard it and I was like, "Oh shit, this is really good," but I didn't know to the extent it was gonna reach. Oh yeah, but I was like, "Oh, this is really, really good."
I could pull up my Spotify right now, and there's about 12 playlists for Getting High that has that song or some sort of remix of that song.
Right? Yeah, I've heard plenty of remixes too. Yeah, but yeah, they paid for that melody, so it makes you wonder, like who's true to writing their own hit, or is that even a thing? You know?
Well, that's what's crazy. It's like, you think about the one-hit wonders. Everyone's like, oh, what happened to that guy? It's like, he may not have ever written that one hit. Yeah. Like, the writer probably, there's so many scenarios involving not him could have gone down that meant he didn't get the writer to write his songs for him. you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I wonder how many bands you would, if you went through like the history books of music and like you found bands that have more than one hit, like pretty consistent hits, like at least one single that was a hit on every album, you know, kind of thing. Like, and you take those bands and like, I wonder how many of them were writing their own music.
Right.
Chances are they were writing their own music.
Yeah.
Chances are they were talented and they were able to continuously have the hits because they were writing it.
If it's bands like Zeppelin or the Eagles or
hit after hit.
Hit after hit, then you know.
You have to imagine that they had to have been writing those songs.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
But then you have like these one-hit wonders that come out, like, you know, The Neighborhood, they wrote Sweater Weather.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the details. I'm sure maybe they wrote it, had a hand in it. I don't know how it works, but especially in today's day and age when everyone's looking for like an image and a brand, someone to put on stage, and then these writers in the, you know, in the back writing the songs for them, or quote unquote co-writing, which is, come on, let's be real, they're fucking writing the songs. Right. You know, and then they come out and boom, they have a hit and they move on to the next act that'll sing the writer's next hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a wild concept to me.
I know.
It's pretty fucked up. Like, I get it, like some writers aren't performers, but fuck that.
Yeah.
If you're writing songs that good, get it together.
Exactly. I feel like if I came out with a hit, or whoever I was working with for that hit, hey, let's keep working. I still, you know, look what this
like, why don't
did.
you come on stage with me and like, you know, we'll be co-writers of the song.
Yeah.
You know?
I would invite them to like write with me. Like, please.
Yeah, but a lot of them make their living based off of,
I know.
That's crazy though. It's wild. And it's like, I think to myself, if you're so good that you just push out hits all day.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you doing it for other people?
Right.
Like, I get it. There's like some sort of comfort in, you know, maybe working for a label or for an agency and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe you're just not good at performing. But like, come on, we live in a day and age where you can just pump out hits without ever performing.
Yeah.
You can sit there and fucking record them all day and just pump them out.
Dude, especially with auto-tune. Oh,
That's right. I guess they would have to like be able to perform it to some extent.
Yeah. But maybe, I don't know, like with me, I'm, like I told you before, I'm a really good number two. I'd rather aid someone in everything that they need to like reach whatever they're thinking.
But you're still in the band.
Yeah.
You're still performing that. Like, would you be comfortable like aiding that person because you're getting paid to, which is great.
Yeah.
And then them going off and like taking 100% credit. Like, you get a paycheck, but you never get credit for it.
Man, that would hurt me a little bit. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It is. It really is.
I saw this thing the other day on TV. It was like, I don't even know. I remember what it was for, but they were like shouting out the writers to some of the biggest hit songs by these big artists. I think it was like a commercial during the Billboard Awards. And I was like, oh, that's pretty sick. They're finally giving some recognition. And they had little clips of the writers playing the songs. I was like, they're perfectly capable of singing those songs.
Huh.
Like, why are you not doing it?
Maybe some people are afraid of the spotlight or just to be like stared by everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not something I feel, but that's just crazy to me.
Not everyone has, you know, your outgoing personality or stage presence or anything like that, or not everyone can rip on the guitar like you. Some people just like, oh my God, stage fright, you know? So I get it, but...
Anyway, the one-hit wonder. Speaking of Billboard, I looked up Billboard. I looked up their definition of a one-hit wonder is an artist who has entered the top 40 once.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
What is considered top 40?
Billboard's top 40.
Okay. Nice. Question
once.
answered. Once. Just once.
Yeah.
I can do that, dude.
Yeah. God damn it, Xavier. But like I understand why that would be considered a one-hit wonder.
Right.
Like why their definition of it is that.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I feel like when you say one-hit wonder, it's implying that the rest of the band, the rest of the artist, the rest of whatever the artist has isn't exactly impactful.
Isn't good enough.
Like, it's like no one's really going to talk about it, or no one's going to like
no one's going to talk about the rest of the music. Well, I feel like it's different now because with bands now, and it's all like about Instagram and everything. Say, example, Neighborhood, they came out with Sweater Weather, but now they have all these like little high school girls who are in love with that look and style and the black and white and everything. Yeah. So because of that, Sweater Weather, I think it doesn't matter what they put out. They already have such a like high school following that anything they put out is just gonna, you know, get them money no matter what.
Yeah.
So like they might have a one-hit wonder, but they have such a like cult following online and just like fan pages online and everything online. It's just like everybody attracts to that because of the style. At that point, it's the style. It's no longer the music.
Yeah.
So anything they really
it's
release,
a brand.
yeah, anything they release, everybody's just like, oh my god, share. Have you heard this song? I can relate. Blah, 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 whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm more into like, all right, how does the music sound? Like, I like the style. It's cool. Whatever. I don't care.
So I'm glad you brought that up because that's literally what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't think, not 100%. I think like 99% that it's not possible to have a one-hit wonder anymore. Even Sweater Weather, while it may be their big hit, they're not a one-hit wonder. Right. And the reason is because of social media, because of the online. So CDs, you know, record labels, all that stuff. Back in the day, they decided what you would listen to, right? They would make something and release it, and that was what you got, right? You know, they decided what the artist would release and blah, blah, blah. But now because of all these different platforms, you know, we have very little of the one-hit wonders. You know, you have Spotify, you have Pandora. I mean, fucking iTunes came out. And all of these things came out, but what did they come out with? They came out with algorithms. Algorithms that were designed to create your experience. I mean, how many times have you heard, like, seen that or read that or heard that?
Yeah.
Create your own experience, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I go on my Spotify, and based on my playlist and based on the songs that I've listened to, blah, 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 that algorithm is going to push certain songs towards me, right?
Yeah.
So there could be songs that are total quote-unquote hits to me that no one's ever heard of, and that could be the best song I've ever heard by the band.
Dude, that sounds like my indie playlist.
Literally. But that's kind of the birth of indie music in a sense. Like this ability to just be pushed onto people through an algorithm. You know? And it's just impossible to have that one-hit wonder because no one will fall off the map. Unless they totally decide to. Unless they decide to say, fuck it, I'm out. You know, streaming gives us our personal hits.
I think as long as you're online and you're consistently pushing out music that whatever can get on those algorithms or just putting out music in general, it's going to get on some playlists and it's going to get like you a small following. Like when I went to go see, oh man, there's this band I called Taking Face. It's more like, I'm not really a pop punk person or anything, but it's a lot of like, and we find like it was a lot of that.
That was the greatest invitation I've ever seen.
like emo whiny kind of, you know, music that I don't really enjoy. But I was invited by my friend Josh and someplace out in LA, and there's this other band that came on last, and I didn't know this band, right? He was excited for them. I don't know it so much I don't even remember the name of the band. I'm sorry, but everybody in that crowd knew every single song, and I'm like, I've never even heard of this band, and how like. And you guys know every single song. That to me was insane. Like, and I know they don't have like a huge hit, but because of what you're saying, social media and everything, they have this online presence and everything. It's so easier now to build a following just from nothing.
Well, I mean, like you said about the neighborhood, even like kind of having a style. Like if someone likes your music and they're like what you're about, you know, you could have one hit that totally hits the Billboard Top 40, right? And they could hit it just once your entire career, and Billboard's going to call you a one-hit wonder, according to their definition. But in reality, because you're posting music constantly, because you have this, you know, this image and whatnot, like you go to that show, all those people knew every lyric. Like you could have your fan base. You could have 1,000 fans across the world and have a fucking career.
That's true.
And you could be the biggest band in the world to those 1,000 people just because you're streaming, just because those algorithms said, hey, this person's listening to this. Why don't you listen to this band? You know, it's just class. And it's incredible because now the potential for it is one-hit wonders can build careers.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You can build a career from a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People say, I never want to be a one-hit wonder. I was like, I don't think it's possible to be a one-hit wonder. I think the only way to be a one-hit wonder is to literally write maybe 3 songs ever, and one of them is a hit.
Right.
And, like, walk away.
Yeah. That's true. Like Gautier. Wrote that,
and
wrote that
bounced
song.
out.
Just, hey, later, guys. I thought that was going to happen to Hozier, you know, the Take Me to Church guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's coming back with more music, so I'm like,
exactly.
Hey, he's coming back. So
well, it's a thing. It's like once you're recognized, it's like that's what you build off of. That's like that's where you have to start off of, because all I gotta do is post a song. Even once every 2 years, I could post a song. And if, you know, that guy that wrote that song just released a song.
Yeah.
Portugal the Man did fucking 11 albums, you said?
Yeah, like 11, at least 11. I want to say more, but I think social media presence and everything. I heard them first when I was working at Chipotle.
Nice.
And there's like that.
You have to speak Spanish there?
No, I didn't. I was
Ironic,
star cashier employee because I was too lazy to do everything else.
You were star?
Oh, yeah. I considered myself at that time a star cashier employee.
Wow.
Like I said, because I was too lazy to roll burritos, so.
God, the amount of jokes right now are just...
Anyway,
another
I
time.
heard there's an indie playlist playing. Chipotle has weird music, and they had the song "So American," and I thought it was a chick singing, and it wasn't. It was Portugal the Man. That was the first time I had ever heard them. So I was like, okay. Downloaded that song, and kind of followed them here and there, but it had been years until they hit "Feel It Still," because I knew they were a band. I didn't know like how long they were a band for. Put at least 11 albums. So I mean, yeah.
So it took 11 albums
it took
until...
for them to go like, maybe we should write a pop song.
Well, what's crazy is I guarantee there's a huge group of people out there that have heard "Feel It Still" everywhere and consider that the only hit by Portugal the Man.
But it's yeah.
Portugal the Man has technically a one-hit wonder to so many people, but meanwhile they have this much music out.
Yeah, they have such a fan base already that some people, they're like, oh, they have all this music?
I didn't even know who they were until that song came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's cool. That's really cool to me.
Well, see, I mean, I never really listened to that kind of music for a long time, and then I think it was what's that song with all the colors in the name? Purple, yellow, green, or something like that. That was another one that kind of got big for a while.
Yeah.
But then I listened to that, I was like, all right, I can roll with this.
Yeah.
And But I've never really looked into their super old stuff.
Yeah, it's more grungy, I'd say, and not like anything like "Feel It Still." I'm waiting for this band has already a hit to me. I have many hits to me. Angus and Julia Stone. I've been following them ever since Chipotle. I got a lot of music from Chipotle. I got a lot of indie stuff. But they had that song.
Just an enigma.
They had that song "Big Jet" playing. And that, that was a hit for sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That was sampled in every song ever.
Oh yeah. I caught them when the dude Angus had released a song called "Paper Aeroplane" off some earlier album, and I was like, oh, this is really good. I should try and write stuff like this. Try. But I was at the time I was too lazy to do it, so I just thought about it. But yeah. To me, before that song, I feel like they had many hits. But, that's just me. I'm just a regular consumer.
You're a fan.
I'm just a fan.
But that's the crazy thing. It's like the idea of a personal hit, like we said.
Yeah.
It only matters what a personal hit is now, because no one, even Billboard, can say they can be on once on the top 40, but that person could have thousands and thousands of listeners loving one song.
Right.
That wasn't approved by some secret society that decides, this and that, or the numbers and the streams. And it's just wild to me, because it's all a matter of personal hits. What kind of fan base do you have and how consistent are you with them?
Yeah.
It's like they stay relevant on their terms.
Exactly.
That what an empowering thing for bands. People talk about how streaming is really destroyed a lot of the industry, and bands aren't making enough money and this and that. Sure, I'm sure there's a lot of backlash on all that stuff, but because of all that, we stay relevant, we stay consistent how we want to.
Right.
It's on our terms 100%.
Yeah, definitely. You can get so big off of that dude who, I got the horses in the back. You know that song? I hate that song.
What song?
But I love it too. Old Town Road by Lil Nas X?
Oh, I didn't even bother with that.
Oh, man. I just thought about it while
See, I work a lot. I do a lot of things. I'm always working on something. And when I have downtime, I prefer to listen to things that are good and things that I like. And when I hear the name Lil Nas and hear about country, it's there's a lot of things I just don't like already.
So it's this dude, he was just making music at his sister's place, and he puts out this... he's rapping, right? And then he just you know what? I'm going to mess with this country beat and kind of do some melody over it. And he puts it out, and somebody on this app called TikTok takes a sample of it, because he just threw it out online, said whatever, and just grabs it, uses it in one of his TikTok videos. That's it, man. That's it.
That's how it happens.
That's it. And doesn't really have a plethora of like older songs. So he's about to start like his actual music.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all pans out for this guy. You should hear the
I
song.
feel like that's such a like an unfortunate situation. Like you do something that's totally not you.
Yeah.
Like, and that like defines you.
I know,
And then
right?
you try to like release your stuff, and only to find out that no one gives a
and
shit.
everybody hates it.
It's pretty because it happens so much.
It does,
like,
yeah.
this person totally like they wrote this one song or they worked with this other artist, and there's this huge thing, and you go listen and they're like, all right, now I'm big, I can go write my own stuff.
Right.
And then just no one gives a shit.
And
like,
nobody cares about you. That's my number one nightmare. Like we jokingly write the most annoying country song for whatever reason, and it's huge, and now we have to play Stagecoach. I mean, like
That's a nightmare.
That's
I feel
not
like there's a lot worse nightmares.
You know what? Yeah, I could not be playing at all. I could have.
I'd be
broken
happy
arm.
just to stand on the stage, have a better view of the crowd. Have you seen who goes there?
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
girls.
Yes. The female type.
Yeah, and there's beer, and I love beer.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's two industries you can't kill: country and metal.
Yeah.
Two industries that just won't die.
Do you think now that we're at this age in time that metal has taken like a huge decline?
Fuck no.
No?
Have you like the amount of metal bands that have come out in the last 10 years that have been playing for even longer, but the amount of metal bands that have come to the front of metal and started redefining and being the big bands is absurd. It's insane. The amount of albums that are coming out this year alone. I just read a list the other day. There's like 15 metal albums coming out in 2019 that are from bands that are fucking big. And last year, the last few years, I mean, my favorite example is Gojira. They're a super heavy band from France. I think Gojira's Godzilla in French.
That's cool.
But they're some of the most technical, incredible players ever. And like they have a lot of albums, and they were big in France. But I mean, I think in the last 5-6 years, they have become one of the biggest metal bands in the world. Like in the fucking world.
Interesting.
These guys are crazy. Like it's amazing because that scene, and even country, like all these new country acts. I mean, metal and country has this following, just has this. It's almost a necessity.
Yeah, there is a very weird country following, especially out here. I don't know why. We're not even in the country, man. We're
in like produce.
Yeah, dude.
Lands.
We're not even in country. We're not even in the real country land, but everybody loves it out here. Like,
well, I think everyone loves it everywhere.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but
I'm not either. I've always been the only country I do like Wheeler Walker Jr.
Dude, come on now.
That's comic. He's
funny
fun.
as shit.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
But yeah, I mean those two industries I think are just they're necessities.
Yeah.
Without that, like there's no stopping either of those.
Is there any like genre or style of music you think is just like dying or dead?
Dying or dead?
Yeah.
That's a really fucking good question. I think the grunge and kind of pop punk scene.
Yeah.
I think grunge is I feel like a lot of people are trying to do grunge but just end up doing metal or emo rock. Because grunge had a very specific scene. It wasn't emo screaming. It wasn't heavy metal. It was grunge. Like I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
And then pop punk, like the late 90s, early 2000s, all
Yeah.
that Blink-182, all those cats,
Oh, God,
like
yeah.
they were a scene. That
Yeah.
was a fucking scene right
Yeah.
there. That was like classic rock coming out for the first fucking time, That was like rock and roll starting, this epic fucking revolution, but it wasn't built to this last, right? Because
Right.
it was all, it was just a very young crowd. It was a very, specific sound. It was
Yeah.
very easy to fuck up. And those bands, some of them are still playing today, but like that died out quick.
Yeah, they're all old.
I mean,
now.
Blink-182 is never gonna die. Like
Right.
they're
Yeah. Yeah.
biggest band in history.
Yeah, you
but-
still have a lot of musicians who look up to Travis Barker. Or,
Oh, Travis Barker's another. He's like one of the greatest. He may be the greatest. He's top three greatest drummers of all time.
Yeah.
Hands down. I mean, fuck me up. Jesus Christ, don't get me started on Travis Barker. but I think pop punk in the early 2000s has totally died out. I don't really know if punk's even there anymore. I mean, I think a lot of people start punk bands.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything.
There is one punk band that I think is coming up, Swimmers.
Never
but
even heard of them.
The singer is a kid of one of Green Day's kids. So like they already had like kind of an in, I'd say.
Yeah.
But a genre I'd say that is like kind of just nobody really cares, but at one time it was huge with reggae. At one time when I was in high school, everybody just went balls to the wall for Revolution.
Oh, dude, everyone, yeah.
Everybody just went, like, I got into them. I only wanted
Investigate 311.
I only wanted to play reggae at one point. I was like, this is so cool, it's fun. And then you realize it just, it's the same kind of thing over and over and over. Like the click, 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 and the little piano sounds to follow it, and about having fun and smoking weed and whatever. And it kind of gets old, man.
I mean, I want to say it's dying out. I don't think it's at the forefront.
No.
I think it's got a fan base big enough to sustain itself, because I think that reggae is totally out there. I think it's one of those things where, like, you're either a fan of reggae or it doesn't exist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ray, what?
Like, you're not going to hear, like, a fucking reggae band play at the Grammys.
Right.
Put it that way.
Yeah, you're not going to hear a reggae band even at Coachella, I'd say.
I mean, I'm sure they got small stages, some reggae like vibes,
Yeah.
but everything is such a niche now.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Like for example, when people ask me like what kind of music do you play? Like, what's your style? What's your genre? I'm like, dude, I don't even know what to fucking say about that.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell have you been online and looked up genres? There's like 3 million subgenres for a fucking subgenre of the subgenre.
Yeah, it's like techno and everything in that realm too. There's like
It's like, this is me farting into a mic while screaming at my dog genre. Like, that
genre.
shit exists
That's
right
a really
now.
good genre.
Like, there's it's insane amount of things.
Okay, so say you wrote a hit, right?
Okay.
From something that you absolutely hated. Say you like wrote like a really, really annoying indie song and like recorded it and threw it out there, and you're like, whatever. But everybody just like, God, they wanted it so bad. Will you write kind of in that style for that a follow-up, or do you write your personal stuff? What do you do at that point? Say you write a really, really good, but you hate this indie sound because you're like, this is too bubblegum, whatever it is. Do you just continue with the trend of everybody loving that, or do you
I think I would have to be honest about everything along the way.
Okay.
One, I don't think I would release anything that I don't like, that I think is stupid.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't write that song in the first place. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
And even if it did come out as like a stupid song that everyone hated, if I liked it, I liked it.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true. Yeah.
I don't tend to do things I don't want to do. But if I did, like, say I was like, mocking, like, oh, I'm gonna write this song. Like,
Right,
fuck
so,
it. It's
yeah.
so easy to write this.
Right,
and
right.
Everyone always says that shit.
Yeah, I know. It's not though.
I go and I write that song, I produce it, and I release it, and it gets this huge fan base and all this stuff, and like money, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I wrote the fucking thing. I produced the fucking thing. I will take the paycheck. I will be happy to accept the money. And if it's impacting people positively, great.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest. Like, look, I did not write this song because I like the style of music.
Right.
I'll straight up say, like, I wrote it because I claimed it was this easy to write a song. I was like, however, it doesn't mean it doesn't have to impact. If this is going to ruin it for you, then it's going to ruin it for you. But I'm not going to pretend to lie. I'm not going to put a face on that says, oh, yeah, I'm about this. Because I'm not about to spend the rest of my life writing songs I don't like.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite things James Hetfield ever said about Metallica, and I think a lot of bands can relate to this, is, we started writing music that we wanted to listen to. That we wanted to hear, and I was like, I feel like that's such an important thing to remember.
Yeah.
Because the only way to sustain what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you have to write stuff you want to hear.
That's true. That's true. I remember when we were first a band. It was me, original guitarist, original drummer, and Joe first came into the band.
Damn, what a time.
What a time, man! What an interesting time. Joe had these demos, right? And he's like, "Oh yeah, like we can like maybe try this out." And there's this like electronic kind of more what I consider my style, and what I had written at the time with these guys. I wanted to just like drop everything. I want to write that.
Yeah.
I really want what Joe had like previewed us.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the balls to say it. So I didn't say anything, but I was like, yeah, that's really good. Like thinking like we're going to work on it. We never worked on it. But funny thing now
yeah.
it's
Very much that.
Yeah, we're moving in that direction, which is great. But like I told this to Joe the other night, and he's like, you know what? We just weren't ready for that. And I was like, damn it. Yeah, you're right.
It happened how it's supposed to.
Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, I think it's important to try things, and like sometimes you may have an aversion towards them, and you may play it and like, oh shit, I actually really do like this.
Yeah.
Like for example, when I first picked up the acoustic guitar, to like, I never had any intentions of writing songs and singing and like using all these jazzy chords. I never had these intentions at all. I wanted to play fucking shredding guitar.
Yeah.
I did that my entire life. I've been playing since I was 5 years old. All I did was pick up the electric and, you know, learn to shred and play and be a rock star and all this stuff. I had this like totally set in motion, and then, you know, I get an acoustic guitar and I have it and I play it for years. And then I think I was 18. I like came home from Outside Lands, the festival.
Nice.
And I came home and it was Sunday or it was a Monday. I sat down with my guitar, and out of fucking nowhere, for the first time in my life, I felt the need to write some lyrics.
Really?
I just felt the need, and I started writing this song called "The Fall," which is the first song I ever wrote. And it's a beautiful song. It's all about, it's this metaphor of like Adam and Eve and the forbidden fruit, but based off of me and like the good girl.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to bang my neighbor at the time.
Nice.
But nice. But like, you know, it was this, you know, this beautiful song comes out, and I was like, huh, that was cool.
Yeah.
So I wrote another one. I was like, huh. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, like 2 months go by and I have like 5 songs, and this is like my life's work now. Like, this is the best thing I've ever done. Like, whoa, what does this mean? And I'm over here like, do I feel guilty because I'm not playing my acoustic or my electric? I mean, I was totally thrown off. Mm-hmm. Like, and it sent me down.
Did you feel guilty?
I felt a little weird. I was like, this is not what I was meant to do. Huh. But sure enough, I mean, I've come full circle, and I'm doing so many different music projects, working on, like, I use everything. Yeah. But it's incredible. Like, it's funny how you like, this is what I am. This is what I like. This is what I'm about. Like, and then you find yourself going down a different direction. Yeah. But it's like, if you're down that direction, you write that hit. Like, bring it back to one hit wonders. Like, what if you're doing that and you write that hit and you are a giant because of that style of music, but you don't like that. So you start writing other stuff. Now you're a one hit wonder because you wrote something you didn't like and everyone else did.
I would think about like if I continued like playing reggae, and I wrote a hit writing reggae song, like one reggae song, and I still have to play reggae, I would be so upset. Just so upset. I'd be grateful for like everything, blah, 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 whatever, you know? But just playing reggae all the time sucks.
Well, funny story. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, this reggae band that was, quote unquote, doing really well. I mean, they seemed like they were doing well.
Do you remember the name?
I don't remember the name. This they had their second country, like United States tour planned. Oh, wow. Like not huge venues, but venues, right? Like there was like 30 shows.
Yeah, they got a buzz. They got a buzz going on.
Right, and like they had, you know, following, and they had a tour bus, and like not a tour bus, but they had a fucking van.
Right,
you know?
right.
Anyway, they reached out to me, and I got an email, and they were asking if I wanted to join the band.
Really?
If I wanted to be their guitar player. So I get this email from this band.
How'd they find you? They just Instagram?
I used to do social media, saw me playing, messing around. So I go.
I would imagine what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I go and I check out the band, and it's like, one, I don't like them. 2, it's not my style, but they're like a reggae band.
Yeah.
And the way they wrote about the singer, it's like he's fucking, you know, either Charles Manson or Jesus Christ. Like one of the two, but definitely some sort of leader that has some following, you know? And it's like, but it's this huge opportunity, right? Like, wow, they have a big show. It's a lot of big shows planned up. This is obviously like, you're going to be on stage touring with a band. Yeah. And I really, really, really consider even paid. Like, I would get paid with the gigs, right? Yeah. I'm like, this is awesome. This is awesome. And I stopped myself before I responded. I was like, can I physically play reggae next to this asshole
who thinks he's Jesus
every other night for 3 months and traveling in a van? I was like, there's just no way. No, I am not going to sit there and play reggae every night with this ass hat.
You would kick everybody's ass.
Like I'd be like 3 shows in. I'm like, all right, someone's getting beat up right now.
Yeah. The bass player sneezes. All right, you're going down.
Fuck you. You don't mess up.
That's a funny thing that you mentioned that, because years ago when I was looking for music and like bands to join, there's this band called Screambirds, right? What? Yeah. I looked up, there's a YouTube video I'll show you later. Very like mellow, like blues rocky, country-ish, whatever. Yeah. Singer's got a weird voice, but I was digging the style. I was like, okay, this is cool. And like the ad was just like, we're going on a tour, blah, blah, blah. You just have to put in like $1,000 and we're gonna like, in my mind, I'm like, exactly what you're thinking. I get a tour, I get to play this music that like I like and stuff, and I'm gonna be so about it. I emailed them and they said, yeah, we're gonna we'll schedule you up for an audition, blah blah blah. Like, give us a call on this night. And so like I was like kind of nervous because like I'm about to like just change everything about me just for this band. So I called my dad, and like I told him about this, and he was actually pretty supportive of it. Like I knew my mom would have said no and blah blah blah, and like you have all these payments and like bills and shit, but I was gonna be like, I don't give a fuck, right? But
Yeah, Mom, I'm a rock star.
I called my dad. He said it was like, you know what, if it's something that you really really want to do, you go do it. And I'm like, okay. So I gave that band a call to schedule an audition. They never picked up, and like I texted the drummer, and I don't know what happened. They just never got back to me. But dude, I was this close to just dropping everything I was doing and just joining that band. The funny thing is that band doesn't exist anymore. Shocker.
Yeah.
But the dude, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He lives in like Colorado now, and he's got like this band called Johnny Lawhorn and the Outhouse Gang, and it's just like very not. I don't want to say it's not. It's good. Like to me, it's like it's all right. It's not bad. I am much happier what I'm doing right now.
Well, see, that's such a crazy situation because, like, how many bands or how many artists out there you think got offered their first like chance to do something and that was a hit? Like the idea of a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Like, how many of those stories starts with that exact thing? Someone got offered a situation and said, "Yeah, this is my, I'm totally about this," and totally went full throttle, like 100%, and was like, "Whoa. This is not who I am. This is not what I wanted."
Yeah.
But now my name is ruined. I can't do anything unless it's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because back in the day, like, realistically, up until like the last like fucking 7-8 years, that's how it went. You weren't allowed to rebrand.
Right. Yeah.
You couldn't.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, now you can do whatever you want.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, now it's like, that's why the idea of a one-hit wonder is so ridiculous. Like, that shouldn't ever be a case.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe they're a one-hit wonder. They had one big hit. There's a huge difference there. Like, they had one big hit that made it to the top 40 or that everyone listened to. Like, Feel It Still, Portugal the Man.
Right.
But they are not a one-hit wonder.
No, definitely not.
Not even, like, a little bit.
No.
Like, because you can just rebrand any moment you want.
Exactly.
It's fucking wild.
And now everybody knows who they are. So anything they put out, it's just going to be like...
Well, there's going to be a group of people that are going to love it no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just how people work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But people like to hate too,
Oh, well, there's got to be the extreme hate and the extreme love.
Exactly.
Blind hate and blind love.
That's what I want, though. That's exactly
You want blind hate and blind love?
Yeah.
With your band?
I just want a successful something to be that impactful where the song turns on and somebody's like, I fucking hate that song. It's everywhere, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is, because we wrote a hit. Damn it. Yeah, it is. Damn right it's everywhere.
That's opening up a very, very deep rabbit hole.
Yeah, it is.
That statement.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how I want to approach this one.
But that's like, to me, it's like, I put in so much work, everything that I've done just for this particular moment. And now it has to be everywhere.
It has to be played everywhere because people want it played everywhere.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely a lot of music that like this went through this label and this label has this kind of say over this station and blah blah.
Unless you write like something like Friday by Rebecca Black. What do you think about that song? It's like, is it you consider that a one-hit wonder or a one-hit failure?
That's not a one-hit wonder. That's called a YouTube success.
Yeah, a YouTube success for sure. Yeah.
That was, I wouldn't even consider that a song. I would consider it a YouTube video that someone made that was incredibly, maybe one of the most successful ones ever, to be honest.
Oh my God.
I mean, think about it.
I feel so bad for that girl, dude.
Why?
Because she got death threats from a song.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but let's be real. It's 2019. You post anything online that gets enough attention, you're gonna get death threats.
Oh yeah, you lose your job, man. You're
gonna get death threats.
Yeah, you record something at the right time and racist lady at Walmart fired. Just anything somebody records.
Angry.
Yeah, just everything. But yeah, I feel bad for her for sure. I'm sure
Didn't she do another song?
Maybe maybe Saturday.
Days of the Week album, first album.
Days of the Week. Oh man.
You know, it was a really cool almost one-hit wonder was Carly Rae Jepsen. Call Me Maybe.
Oh yeah.
So she did Call Me Maybe, right?
Yeah.
And let's be real, that song was hilarious and huge. And we can sit here and break that song down. I'm not a huge fan of it, but shit, like if I'm partying, I'll put that song on. Everyone loves that shit, right? it's a communal thing, basically, right?
Yeah.
And there was a little downtime after that. Like, no one knew anything about her. They just knew she wrote the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the name of it? I Really, Really Like You. Right? She comes out of the gates and releases that song. And now, all of a sudden, because she releases this other song, now she's an artist. Now she has a name.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Hanks is also in that music video, but that's just a wild situation.
Right.
But it's crazy. Like, it's crazy the idea of, like, she could have disappeared. Like, you have to disappear after one song if you're going to be a one-hit wonder.
That's true.
It is if you don't,
That's
you're not
true.
a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, I guess I really
that's
didn't
the day
think
we
about
live
it.
in.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
wild concept.
Yeah.
Like, I could release 30 songs right now, and no matter how many hits come after that, I would never be a one-hit wonder because of the platform we live in.
Right.
That's wild. Like, what was the name of that girl? I forgot her name, the one that All About That Bass.
Oh, I was about to bring her up. Meghan Trainor.
Meghan Trainor. Thank you.
Yeah.
She's another perfect example.
Yeah.
Could have left.
One
hit wonder.
Yeah.
But not that any of the rest of her songs are really that are good or not. I've never even heard the rest of her songs. But you say Meghan Trainor now. You don't say that girl that wrote All About That Bass.
Exactly.
You don't talk about that song anymore.
Yeah.
When you say Spirit in the Sky, what do you think? You think Spirit in the Sky. You don't fucking think about what's his name.
Yeah.
I don't even know. What is it? Green Bomb or something? You ever written down?
It's Green. We'll go with Green Bomb. Yeah, it is. I wrote the last name, but I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. But that's wild though.
Yeah.
It's a song, but now it's you literally. If you write anything else, you have an artist's name now.
It's funny if you put that song on and you ask like a group of people, like, who is this? Nobody's gonna know.
No one.
No one is gonna know.
No one. Maybe like an old person.
Yeah.
That was like there when it was released.
Just look at the oldest person in the room. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, this is that.
Or anybody involved in the movie industry that has been involved in scoring a film.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or deciding what music goes where. The musical producer or arranger. I mean, that is that song. What's the other one? Fortunate Son. I mean, some songs are just like tagged as movie songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like a football song, Spirit in the Sky.
I was also thinking about that song "Crazy" by Gnarls Barkley.
Oh yeah.
It's I didn't even realize it was CeeLo Green and Danger Mouse, and Danger Mouse also worked with the singer from Broken Bells, who is also the singer of.
I love Broken Bells.
Broken Bells, right?
great
He's the singer
band.
of. Oh man, I don't even know his original band, but yeah, they collab together. It seems like anybody who works with Danger Mouse is like writing good music, so I need to hit him up on Instagram or something.
Just blow up his DMs
Yo, dude.
every fucking minute.
Anyway, yeah, Crazy came out, and that song was a hit. Yeah,
that was next level hit.
Yeah, and now I think CeeLo Green just took it to another direction where he's like just going on TV and like hosting shows with whoever. Isn't he on The Voice too?
I think he was for a while.
Yeah.
One of the shows, I remember him was something like that. He was a judge, wasn't he? Which makes, I mean, I guess, sure.
I guess, dude.
I think they're just trying to get new faces to get attention because like there's so many of those shows that no one gives a shit. It's like there's The Voice and America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. No one's watching American Idol anymore.
American Idol, dude. It's because Simon left, man. He was hilarious. He just told everybody straight up that you suck, and people got their feelings hurt. I probably would get my feelings hurt too, but
Well, I liked it. Well, I think he was such a great judge because a lot of his like money and it was his project.
Yeah,
like, a lot of it. Like,
yeah,
he's funding it
exactly.
So he's not gonna fuck with you and like support you if you're bullshit.
Like,
and I was like, I feel like all the judges need like if you're gonna choose judges, choose people that have put like their like hand in it.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're gonna be honest.
Totally.
They're gonna choose like the stars.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Imagine a requirement. You want to be a judge on our show? Pay us. You have to support this artist.
Oh man.
Fucking wild. Anyway, Crazy. Gnarls Barkley. What is Gnarls Barkley? Is just the.
I read about the name. It's just it has no meaning. Has no meaning.
It's just the name they went under.
Like it has no meaning. Has nothing behind it. It's just like he said. Just like the music at the time. It's just whatever we wanted to create.
Yeah.
That's what we did, and that's what we did with the name too. I'm like, huh. Okay.
I feel like that's kind of, I mean, I talked about this with another guest, Jimmy Swag.
Yeah.
Not my best episode. But I was talking about how like the idea of like having an image or a name allows you to like write very freely. Mm-hmm. And I think there's definitely a cool concept. I think a lot of big artists use that because it's so hard to rebrand, at least it was, that you have a lot of artists that go under like 3 different names and like release music and this and that. It's totally different styles of music, which is like the out now.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, say you're like a diehard this person fan and they have this kind of music, and that same person releases a totally opposite genre under their name. You're like, what happened to them?
Right.
But if they just change the name and say someone else is releasing it, you could totally love that song.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. It's crazy.
I know. Huh. I never really thought about that. I'm thinking about this as you're explaining it to me. And I'm just like, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's... You could. What are you going under? See, you're the bass player from Mr. Call.
Yeah.
And you write a lot of songs on your own, like little stuff.
Yeah,
so
I just write...
Are you releasing it under Xavier Valdez?
My own stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, just my own name. Like,
do you think if you release it as a totally different like persona, you would write differently?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think you'd write more freely?
No, I still have a specific style, but for the name that I'm thinking of, I want to write it. I want to write a very specific sound, I'd say. So I like a lot of like simple guitar picking that I do on my acoustic.
Yeah.
And I would keep it true to that more than anything. And it would fit right under the name that I'm thinking of. So if anybody's trying to steal my name, you gotta get out of here. It's mine.
I definitely appreciate artists that stay under their real name.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the idea of like, you know, maybe it's like a project. Like Gnarls Barkley could have very well just been a band name.
Right.
You know, 2 artists working on something.
Yeah.
You know, but I definitely appreciate and respect artists that use their real names.
Yeah, I think I like that too. Actually, I used to be iffy about that, but you know,
I mean, like I have nothing against people that don't. I think the extent of it is like as long as it's just a different name.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to, you know, be something so different for all the wrong reasons, then go fuck yourself. And anybody who knows what I'm talking about, I apologize for buying into that shit at any moment in time.
I agree, man.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
It won't happen again, though. That was
Right.
fucking nonsense. Anyway, one-hit wonders. Question.
Yes. Talk to
Are
me.
they specific to their era?
No, I don't think so. I think now, no. Before, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, because we have so many different sounds, but like it's all psycho, you know. So like, the '60s are all these hits for that time, '70s hits for that time. Has there ever been before the new digital era a band that's made a futuristic sound or something that's never been heard of like before? You think?
Prodigy, 9 Inch Nails, like a lot of those guys like started that.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Realm. But that was also late 80s. You know?
Yeah, and the writer for 9 Inch Nails was very 80s based, right? Like
or Trent Reznor.
Yeah. So
my true love. I love you, Trent Reznor.
So
you're the greatest man to ever live.
now there's bands who are just taking styles from before, but like putting like robotic sounds almost, or just putting unique sounds.
So the hits that are happening today are timeless.
I don't know. No.
Well, because I mean, if you go online, and I did this, I was like,
Yeah.
best one-hit wonders of all time.
Yeah.
And like a lot of it were like people that just made web pages with their favorite one-hit wonders.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how many I stumbled across where I've never even heard of the band or the
Really?
name. And it was considered a one-hit wonder. Like at that time,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
But like when you think one-hit wonder, you think of the famous songs like Spirit in the Sky.
Right.
Like that's a one-hit wonder. But that's been timeless. Like that's been used over and over again. That's something that has constantly
And
always
it's still
been known.
as long as something keeps coming back even today,
Yeah.
then timeless.
So but the question is like, does that declassify the one-hit wonders that were in the 70s that no one even knows about anymore?
Oh man.
Because I feel like to be a one-hit wonder, like your hit has to stay a hit.
Yeah.
Or else you're not a wonder.
Yeah.
Or you just say like, I had a hit at one point.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true.
I mean, I get like, oh, but at that point it was the only song that was a hit, so they're a one-hit wonder, whatever. But it's like now, you know, music has been so so intensely distributed. Like, we've had distribution from CDs to even records to fucking music players. Like, we live in a world for the last 100 years where music has been distributed to some extent, which allows it to be a hit of some sort. Like, but we have 100 years of history. I feel like it's only a one-hit wonder if it's withstood that. Yeah. For me, at least, that's kind of like what it has to be.
That's a good point, actually.
You know, because like if it's a one-hit wonder that no one's ever heard of, that no one's ever going to remember, it's fizzled away in its era. Yeah. I guess it was a one-hit wonder in the 70s. Right. But then again, like, how is it one-hit wonder if it's classified in one section? Right. Like one area of time. Yeah. I don't know. That was something to me that I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Because I read so many of these lists, like, what the fuck are these songs? Like, who are these bands?
Who are these bands? And
I've
like,
never heard of any.
You look
them
up, and they still have like a Wikipedia page on them. Yeah, and just like, what?
Like, it was just wild. So, I mean, what do you think though? Do you think they're era specific? Do you think? Oh
man, I don't know, dude. Because like, say an artist like Michael Jackson, right? And he writes, but he's writing hit after hit, so he's not really a one-hit wonder.
No, not even close. He's written every hit.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's funny. The Cars had, I think they were reported saying they should have titled their first album "The Greatest Hits of All Time" because their first album had all these hits, and then they didn't after that. Yeah. So. But for their time, everything was considered timeless, I guess.
So their albums after that were considered good.
Yeah, just not as good as... They weren't as good as their first album.
But their album was a hit. Mm-hmm. But that's still, to this day, a lot of those songs are still...
Yeah. So
yes, that's what I mean. Like, for me, it's there's like a... I don't know what the balance is, but there's got to be some sort of gauge of a balance. Yeah. And like, how timeless is it? Yeah. And how much of a hit is it to be considered a one-hit wonder?
We got to use someone to like be the threshold of that. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to think of like one that would be perfect for that. But you know, like we keep saying "Spirit in the Sky" because that's just the one I was thinking of. Yeah. You know, at the time.
But that's a good. Yeah. I think that's a good, but it's, at the same time, it's still being used today for like.
But that's the thing. At the same time, do you think it would still be considered a one-hit wonder if it wasn't used in all the movies?
No.
Do you think it's a good enough song to have withstood without the movies?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's a good song.
It is a very good song.
Very well done.
Yeah, it is it's a very good song. And the dude like spent 15 minutes writing that song. That's what. Yeah, I read it online that he's just said he's like, he saw some gospel singer sing something on TV, and he's just sitting there. He's like, I could do that. And so he wrote a gospel song himself. 15 minutes of his time. He said didn't really have a melody or an idea in his head. Yeah. He just wrote the lyrics for it, and then next thing you know, he's writing a damn hit.
One of the most timeless songs ever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, God, how do I do that?
I can see you. You're like you start to talk about someone writing a hit, and you slowly start to fade out of what you're saying. And like your mind starts going like, I need to do this. Write notes and figure out how this is going to happen.
It's so enrooted in my head right now. Like
But you're like the perfect bandmate though, because within 4 people, everyone's got a role. You had to have a guy that says, we have to write a hit. Everything is about writing a hit. Like you need that. That balance.
Joe is like that. He's like, if it doesn't sound like something that you like, if it doesn't sound like a hit after X amount of time, we need to like go on to the next thing because.
Okay. All right. So to write a hit, what? And this is a tough question because this also totally has like a lot to do with scene and era and whatnot. But what is it that makes it a hit musically?
So I've thought about this too. Okay. Something I can't, dude. I don't think there's a very specific answer because like, you know, there was this. Remember Lorde and her song. What was that song that
Royal?
Yeah. Is it Royal or Royals? Royal. Okay. So she had posted a demo of it on like I think 4chan or Reddit, and somebody critiqued it and was like, "Yeah, it's okay, blah blah blah. Like, I think it could be used more. It could have more elements and whatever. And you know, overall, it's an okay song, but I think you're missing something else in." This chorus, blah, 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 blah. Somebody was just talking shit on her song. She was just like asking for like opinions. Next thing you know, dude, like what might not be a hit to this person was a hit to the entire world. So But when I first heard this song, I'm just like, it's okay, but I don't know what will constitute a hit.
Okay.
How? Like it could be so simplistic and like whatever to us, but
so what is it that's required musically?
I don't know, man. Because like
in your opinion, not like in a general say like for you, what
for me,
if you were gonna write a hit, what would the song need?
It would need, honestly, very, very a very solid beat where you know it's undeniable, like very like catchy, a catchy beat somehow. To follow that, a catchy bass, right?
Okay, so you need something to move to and something to groove to.
Yeah. It doesn't matter the BPM to me, as long as there's like a feel to that song just from those two things. That's it, man. That's all. You just need to add little like cooking. I'm very bad at cooking, but sprinkle some, little spices in, throw in this little thing, and and then,
Okay, so what happens after that? What do you need? You need a hook, right?
You need a hook, man. You need a
so
good hook.
What kind of hook do you need? One that is vocal driven, guitar driven.
It's not about vocals, like as far as words. It's about the melody. I've always thought that it's always about the damn melody. I don't care what the words are, like. After I figure it out and I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's about this. It's so cute. Whatever. It's about the melody. I've always thought that. You can't.
I agree with that. I'm not denying it. I think words are very impactful. I think words have a lot to do with it. I think some songs, yes, the words are what you remember, but the hook is 100% a melody.
Yes.
The hook is always a melody because that's what the body will remember.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You can remember lyrics all day, but your body will remember the movement, the feeling.
Yeah. And the way the words are sung in that specific order.
Now, do you think it's necessary to have vocal melody? Or can you get the melody from something else? Because you don't hear a lot of instrumental stuff being the big hit.
That's true, but there's that song, Animals, like, motherfucking animal.
But there's words in it nonetheless.
That's true, but it's that drum weird annoying sound in the chorus or the verse or whatever you want to call. I'm not big into EDM or anything.
Okay.
But that melody of those drums is what everybody knows.
See, that's why I love EDM. That's why I love the electronic scene.
Okay.
Because they've taken all the basics that we've used to write music.
Yeah.
And they've somehow translated it into this electronic state.
True. That's very true.
Which has made a plethora of shitty electronic music. There is so much crap out there.
Yeah.
But when you get the good stuff, it translates on such another level.
I know.
I mean, it's fucking like that. That's why it has such a big following. That's why people have to be there.
Yeah.
That's why people want those bigger speakers.
Oh, yeah.
There's an essence to it that grabs the human being without us realizing. But it's also a harder thing to do because it's not harder because it's hard to succeed in it.
Yeah.
It's hard because it's way too easy to fuck it up.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and if you're at a festival and you're rolling,
I mean, that's a little different.
It's a little different. You're feeling every song for sure. I would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a couple raves. I mean, I only went because my friends all went. So I was just like, I've never really been into the music. I'm the worst person, I'm like, I'm such a poser. Like, yeah, I'll go to this thing or whatever. I'll take drugs with you. As long as I'm having fun with my friends. But
You're such a poser.
I know. Oh God. This podcast is going to bring the worst out of me. He's so fake.
I think you're the farthest thing from fake. I think you are so honest about what you actually want and care about that it's possible for you to be fake.
Cool.
So
I get the pass.
Doesn't mean you're not a piece of shit.
Yeah, no. I've accepted that.
Oh, fuck off. We love you. Everybody loves you.
I love you.
Everybody knows you. It's weird.
I don't know. It's not.
Like when you make it big, you're gonna be really good at being famous.
I hope so.
I think you were meant to be famous because I don't remember the last time I mentioned you to someone and they didn't somehow know who you were. Through someone.
Hopefully in a good way. I mean,
they all know, I know Xavier.
Yeah, hopefully I've done some shitty shit in my life for sure. Yeah. But, hopefully more positive than negative.
So, I think the things that you said though for like what you want to write a hit,
Yeah.
I think those have applied to every hit, every one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Like everything that was a one-hit wonder, I think musically was because one, there was a good hook, like regarding vocal melody. Two, there was some sort of beat, like great beat that allowed you to follow it somehow.
Right.
I mean, even with a solely acoustic and vocal track, there's still a movement. There's still a rhythm to it. You know, I guess rhythm is the correct word for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, it doesn't matter what you listen to. Bass is always bass.
Yeah.
You can't live without bass.
It's true. You cannot. I mean, you can try, but
you can try, but it's not going to be a good life.
Live a boring life.
That's pretty. I'd love to like take like 30 one-hit wonders. And I mean one-hit wonders, not people that have written hits, not just hits, but the one-hit wonders, and like take them all over the last like 50 years and talk about why they were one-hit wonders, like musically, and compare them. Like, what is it that's consistent throughout them? I'm gonna listen to some. I'm gonna put together a little playlist of that, and I'm gonna listen. And what's the consistency factor?
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
That'll teach you to write a hit right
there.
there.
Right?
Xavier's homework. Do what I said. do what I said I'm gonna do for me.
And write a hit. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll get on that.
Every time you say hit, it's like your eye sparkles.
Just
You're like,
a little bit more like an Instagram filter, like
Like, what is that? Oh, what is that feeling I'm getting?
You know what's funny? I'm gonna admit this to you. I've never really told anyone.
Well, a lot of people are gonna hear it. So
It's fine. It's nothing bad. So I used to be into, Outkast, of course.
Fuck yeah, I know Outkast. Come on now.
So there's that album they came out with, one with Hey on it. It was Love Below and Speakerbox, right?
Okay.
I used to bump that in my room and have when I was really skinny, just have my shirt off, pretend I was on a stage and just like look at myself in the mirror and just like sing to myself.
You know what? I'm gonna clear this up right now. One, I've never done that.
No.
Two, no. Two, I have seen and witnessed that exact situation, not with that exact song,
right,
way too many times. Growing up, I had a lot of friends. I just noticed a lot of guys did that growing up.
Why?
They would look in the mirror. I think it was a boy band thing.
Yeah.
Like, we grew up with boy bands. Like,
right,
I had a buddy
right.
who was fucking married with a kid now. But when we were younger, I remember we were in the fucking gym. There's a lot of people in there and a lot of mirrors. I was mid-set and looked over, and he was fucking dancing, pretending like he was part of a boy band in the mirror. And I'm like, I gotta leave.
Dude, are you like serious right now? Everybody's looking at you.
Full benching.
Yeah,
But no, I mean, it's a lot of people.
It's so weird. Why is that a thing? Why is that?
I don't know. I've never done it. I've never had that urge
How
to
did I do that?
dance in front of the mirror.
Huh?
With my shirt off. I'll dance with my shirt off in front of people.
Yeah.
Gladly, a lot, actually.
It's just like something came over me where like I pretended I'm on stage and I'm just like singing this song.
But it was that album that did it to you, huh?
It was that album, and I'm just
like, if you ever met the guys that performed it, would you be like, I have something to tell you? Your album inspired.
I probably would tell them.
You guys inspired my half nudity.
Yeah, you guys inspired me so much that my little 14-year-old self just danced in his room with the shirt off while singing your songs, and they'd probably be like, "Okay, man," and that's the end of that.
Security guard slides
Security
in.
guards, please. Like, no, wait, no.
Distance you from them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this was
I seriously have never told anyone that.
I'm glad you did. I want you to know you're not alone. I've witnessed it a lot.
Okay.
I can totally see your weird ass doing it though.
Yeah, totally.
You were fucking weird when you were skinny.
Oh yeah. I used to make videos in my room and stuff, and just.
See, guys, that's a secret. Put on some muscle, and life changes. I guess
man.
Your personality and everything
changes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you went from skinny to a monster to bass player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird, man. It's weird how everybody transitions in life,
Yeah.
I take it to the extremes though. Like,
I'm an extremist myself.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, you and I both fall on that path of like, this is what we want, and we're just gonna do whatever it takes to get exactly what we want.
Yeah.
So with me, I wanted my body to look a certain way. I did anything and everything.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm an extremist on that level.
Yeah.
I never did that stuff.
I did.
I'm an extremist in the sense that if something's good, I need to know how good it can get. Mm-hmm. And if something's bad, I need to know how bad it can get.
Interesting. Really?
Like, I'll notice when something's good and when something's bad, but I won't walk away, or I have to know what's the extent of its greatness and its terribleness.
Interesting.
It's like a blessing and a curse. I mean, that's in that way I'm extreme.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I find something I like and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no one that's going to stop me from that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
like, I could be the reason that a one-hit wonder is there.
Yeah.
I'm the one guy that liked it so fucking much that it became a hit.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. I believe it. This is like, you ever see that Instagram thing where like there's just two people and they're transparent, but like the waves of brain and stuff are like,
oh
this is
yeah,
us
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
All the different levels.
Just
like,
just me, just this is good.
Yeah,
This is good.
yeah. Well, Xavier, this has been educational and just spectacular. One-hit wonders, man. I'm not done with this topic.
Okay.
I don't know what I want out of it yet.
Yeah.
I'm done for now.
Okay.
But I have a feeling there's more to this.
There is.
Anybody listening that has something to say about it, you fucking email me.
Yeah.
You hit me up. You DM
Throw some
me.
comments.
You fucking tell me what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right, and I'll tell you why I'm always right.
Make sure you throw comments so I don't feel alone about the time you took off your shirt.
Yeah, anybody that's taken their shirt off as a teenager and danced in their room like they were part of a band in front of a mirror. I know it's specific, but I know you guys are out
Somebody's
there.
got to have done it. Yeah.
I know you're out there.
Yeah.
Please tell Xavier he's not alone.
Yeah.
Anyway, Xavier, thanks for coming by, man.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace.